What up YouTube? So I've had the DJI Osmo Action 5 now for a month and I want to do like a 30-day review on it. I want to talk about the things I don't like about it and the things I do like about it.
Oh shit!
So first, I want to start off all the negatives. One of the biggest things I don't like about the DJI Osmo is the app. It was hard to find in the App Store. And a lot of this also has to do with the fact that I got the Osmo before it came out. It was hard for me to get this camera set up. I'm not sure if it's because I have an Android. Eventually, I got on the phone with DJI customer care. They're super helpful. They were actually surprised that I had the camera before it came out, but they walked me through to go on the website, download the app, and I eventually got it up and running. The other negative thing I would say is probably my experience with the ND filters at the beginning.
So many rock features. So good. Oh my god. The show is dope.
So with using ND filters, you basically want to double your shutter speed to the frame rate. I normally shoot with 25 frames a second, which I would need to have my shutter speed at 50. But when I did that, the stabilization wasn't good. Kept messing with it, doing different settings, different shutter speeds, changing the ISO, watched a lot of videos, finally figured it out. If you guys are having the same problem with your camera, if you're shooting cinematic and you're shooting at 25 frames a second, put your shutter speed at 50, it's gonna look great. The issue is when you do action sports like mountain biking, very shaky. So when your shutter speed is under 100, so running at 50, the stabilization was really bad. But once I figured out that if I put the shutter speed to 100,
Yo! Hey Matthew! Yoo! Damn! Oh fuck! Turn a little sideways. Woo! Good lord! Jeez! Damn!
There's an adjustment in the Pro mode. The way I have it set up, I put the exposure on auto. I manually changed the auto to shoot it between 1/100 to 1/8000. On the ISO, I have it at 100 to 800. And I found that this works the best. Kind of gives it what your natural eye sees with ND filter, motion blur, but the stabilization also works really good. Another negative that I could say is the GPS. So the actual GPS works great. It looks awesome.
This is a super fun trail. It's a little beat.
The problem is getting the file uploaded into my computer to edit. So the way that you upload and put the parameters onto the video is you gotta upload the footage directly through the app on the phone, which if you do your editing on your phone, that's great. But for me, I edit everything on my MacBook. So it was hard for me because I had to use my Android. I had to upload it through the app. And then from there, I use a MacBook. So if you have an iPhone, it's pretty easy. Upload it onto your iPhone and then you just airdrop it to your MacBook. The problem is I have Android and I can't airdrop it to a MacBook. So once I have the file uploaded onto my phone, I then have to upload it through Google Drive. For me, I wish there was a way that you can, the actual footage onto the SD card, put the SD card over to the MacBook and edit. It would just be a lot easier. But basically, those are the only three things I could think of negative about the camera. I freaking love it. So I want to talk about all the positive things that I like about the camera. First, I would say is the first time taking this out with the GoPro. So I have the GoPro 13. So I did a review video on it, and I think it upset a few GoPro fanboys.
All right, so I have both cameras on the same settings, both at 4K, 24 frames per second. All right, so I have both cameras on the same settings, both at 4K, 24 frames per second.
They actually thought that I turned off the stabilization on this and left it on this. That's how much better the stabilization was on the DJI versus the GoPro.
All right, I'm gonna switch the cameras back and forth to see how they do with the rock steady and the hyper smooth. All right, I'm gonna switch the cameras back and forth to see how they do with the rock steady and the hyper smooth.
And to be fair, that portion of the video is when I had the DJI Osmo on my chin and the GoPro on my chest. Whenever the GoPro is on the chest, 90% of the time it was fine, but when the trail got really shaky, the footage got shaky.
I don't think either one of these cameras are gonna do what we really want, is a camera that can capture how steep and gnarly trails are.
With the Osmo, even on the chest, even on the trail when it got shaky, the stabilization was much better.
All right, so I have the Osmo on my chest, the GoPro's on my chin. I want to see the stabilization on all this section right here. Woo, it's windy.
When they're on the chin, they're both really good. I would say 99.9% of the time, both of them did phenomenal with the stabilization on the chin. The other big surprise when I compared the two was definitely the sound. The sound quality of the DJI is much better than the GoPro. There's no comparison with that.
All right, this is gonna be the third trail. I swapped the cameras again.
The other thing I would say is the picture quality. This thing's amazing. You can go into the pro settings and mess with the color. You want to mess with post-production, you can put it on D-Log M 10-bit. I personally don't have time to do that. I own a restaurant, so I put a normal 10-bit. That way I don't have to mess with post-production, and I love the way the colors come out on that. I would say that I had a couple issues. First time I put on the ND filter, I accidentally put my DJI Osmo on night mode. When I did that, the footage was really bad.
It's definitely intimidating. Nice. Wow, it's a lot. Oh fuck!
I did another ride in Laguna. Shutter speed was at 50, and I had the ND8 on there. The stabilization was bad.
All right, let's go.
And then finally I went to Snow Summit and I figured out the settings that I like the best.
Woo! Oh boy. Woohoo!
By the way, I just also want to tell you my settings on this camera. So I have it at 4K, 25 frames a second. I have rock steady on, and I have it on ultra wide. And then when I go into pro mode, I already told you what I do with my exposure. With white balance, I leave it on auto. With color, I put it on normal 10-bit, and then I have it under stabilization under sport. And that's it. Like it's solid. I love this camera. I've messed with it enough to know that this is what I found that works best. I got a new helmet, and I took the camera out to try different mounts. I had it under the the lid.
This is a new helmet. This is the Fox Pro Frame RS. I have it mounted underneath the lid, hoping that it can catch the handlebar. If not, I'm gonna put them out on the chin and see how that goes.
I used to ride my camera like this, and I didn't like it because it didn't have the bars in frame, and it's exactly what I didn't like about it. You know, I tried different mounts. I prefer it on the chin. This is how I run it now. To me, it's the best place for mountain biking.
Woo!
The chest looks good. It's just a little shaky. A lot of people do like the chest. I just prefer the chin. If I'm turning my head or I'm looking at something or I'm talking to somebody, that's where the camera goes. I just prefer the chin mount. For right now, I think that's the sweet spot on the chin with those settings. It's just been awesome. I'm super stoked with this camera. Love how easy it is. Like, for example, if I had my camera mounted here, I can easily swap it down here on my chin, or if I want to take it off and then put it on my chest, it's really easy to click on and off. With the GoPro, I have to unwind this and then take this off and then put this on, put the screw back in. It's a hassle. The magnet attachments with the DJI. Saying that, I know GoPro just came out with their magnet for the GoPro, which is great. The step in the right direction. This is a badass camera. I just prefer the DJI Osmo. The other thing I love about this, the DJI Mic 2. This is so clear. I wore it on my collar like this, and it blocks out a lot of like the static noise or the wind noise.
Whoa! Oh, my rear just slid out. So guys, sorry. Are you guys good?
The Osmo sound quality is so good. I just wouldn't want to break this or lose it riding with it. So I would probably use this when not doing anything with like mountain biking or anything like that. If you're in the market for a new action camera, you can't go wrong with either one. But if I had to choose one, it would definitely be the Osmo. I think one big factor with GoPro has over the Osmo is their unlimited cloud storage. I believe it's $50 a year. But as far as the camera itself, I think this is a better camera in almost every way. Just full disclosure, DJI did send me the camera. They have no say-so, in my opinion, what I think, what I say about the camera. That is my 30-day review, and so far, so good. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.